Hi, welcome back to my channel, and this is a sound off on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, so we get this opening scene with Angela and her husband, and you know what stuck out to me? Every time Charles comes on camera, he always gives off Juan Dixon energy. Like he's got her on the schedule, hurry up, wrap this scene up because I got things to do. I don't really want to be here talking about none of this. Like, she's always leading him to say something loving or to do something affectionate. And baby, he don't take none of her cues. He don't care nothing about nothing what she's talking about. Like, he's just there for the moment. Like, hurry up, wrap this up, let's go on about our business. It's giving Charles treats Angela like how they say Portia treats Shamia. Which is funny because you are sitting over there advocating for Shamia, girl. You need to be advocating for yourself in your marriage. Oh no, it's getting a little weird. Yeah. I don't know why y'all be forcing these men to be on these shows, because we don't need them there. Like, if your husband is not for the reality TV cameras, keep him off the show. Keep him off the show. The show's about you. You're the housewife. You don't have to force him on the show if he's going to give weird energy. I'm just saying. Just a suggestion. So they also get into the whole situation with Angela's mom, her sister, and her daughter. And Charles is over that as well. I'm kind of over it, but I feel for Angela because I can see that this is taking she feels a way about this. It makes her feel some kind of way, and I understand that. What it looks like to me is that the sister has some type of resentment towards Angela, and she's taking it out on her daughter. When they replayed the clip where Amari was telling Angela how she wanted to borrow her grandmother's car, and then the aunt and grandma wanted money from her, or the aunt wanted money from her for using the car that her mother provided for the grandmother. Now, I know we weren't there, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but if I go to ask my grandma to borrow her car, why should she ask me for money? That's the part that I think that's kind of messed up. If your daughter purchased a car for you and your granddaughter asks to borrow that car, you want your granddaughter to pay you? Or the auntie wanted Amari to pay? I feel like when we first talked about it the first time, I think everybody has grazed over that. That's shady. I don't really like that. How it's coming off is y'all have some type of resentment towards Angela and you take it out on her child. But the bigger question is, why didn't Angela purchase her daughter a car? Now, if Angela did purchase her daughter a car and she still wanted to use the grandma car, child, I don't know. But we might need to stop talking about this because if the sister clearly doesn't want to be a part of it, they blurred her picture a couple of times on the show. We don't get to know her side of the story, but it's not looking too good for the sister. It's looking like you a big old hater. Like, how do you hate on your sister's child? How do you hate on your niece? How are you being mean and nasty to your niece? I don't like that. Angela, you need to get your family business in order, because that's not cool. That's not cool at all. Like, this is some deep-rooted family drama, and if the family not on the show, I don't think we need to talk about it too much more. Yeah. I don't like it. Okay, so in the next scene, we get Shamia and Cynthia linking up, and they're discussing Shamia's friendship with Portia, and I'm already over this. I'm over this. Shamia, you're not slick. Shamia, you are very calculating. I made a video last week, but my week was so busy that I did not have enough time to edit it. And I looked crazy in the video. Y'all, I was going through a lot, okay? But in a good way, But a lot was happening. And I feel like I might need to upload it. I don't know. Are y'all gonna want to watch it? Y'all let me know. But I'm exhausted. I don't want to say what all I already said in the last video. Maybe I'll post it. I think I'll post the video. But pretty much, I'm not buying Shamia's victim act. I'm just not. I've never bought Shamia's act. I'm so sorry. Like, I want to be a part of the popular clique, but I'm just not wired that way. If I see some nonsense, it's hard for me to act like it's not nonsense. And Shamia, girl, I'm tired of you already. I'm tired of you already. When you came on this season and was showing your life, I loved it. This thing with Portia is I'm tired of you, girl. I'm tired. Let's recap things right quick, okay? Portia's birthday weekend, y'all go to Nashville. Portia and Angela have a little hiccup, some friction, whatever. Portia then goes on to say she better leave me alone before I F her husband. We already discussed that. Shamia laughs. I would have laughed as well. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Y'all can be mad at me if you want to, but I would laugh as well. Because if you keep calling me a husband stealer, I'm gonna tell you, girl, make sure I don't take yours. I feel like that was a flippant remark. Portia has said it. Maybe not. Was it in poor taste? It was. Was it tacky? It was. But it was a shady, flippant comment. To me, it wasn't that deep. For Angela, it was very deep because it was her husband. And I understand that. I can't take that from her. However, she is more upset with Shamia for not checking Portia than she is with Portia, who made the offensive remark to her. She says that she holds Shamia to a different standard because Shamia is married, and Portia, I guess, apologized. So it is what it is. Shamia cannot take the fact that Angela is willing to move forward with Portia, but not her. So much so that it slips out when they're having this conversation with Ralph at dinner. Shamia gets annoyed with Portia. Well, she's over it with you, but she's not over it with me. So now Shamia, off camera, goes to Angela, has a conversation with Angela, starts to reveal personal things to Angela about her and Portia's relationship. She starts to vent to Angela. The same Angela that is annoyed with you. You go and spill your guts to Angela. Everything that's been bothering you about the friendship you have with Portia, you go and tell Angela, of all people. And then Angela, of course, she's annoyed with you and she's annoyed with Portia. So she brings it up to Portia. Portia is blindsided. Her feelings are hurt, but you mad. Portia is wrong in this scenario and you are not wrong. I can't wish. I know that everybody loves to mention season 9 and how Portia was a bad friend to Shamia because Portia allowed Phaedra to speak bad about Shamia and she didn't correct her and she actually kind of like, you know, played messy in that. I don't disagree with any of that. The problem that I have, though, that is the middle. That's not the beginning of the story. The story doesn't start there. The story starts season 8. That's where the story starts. But everyone loves to hyper-focus on what happened season 9. Nobody ever talks about how slick Shamia is. And sneaky. Shamia got some stuff with her, too. And everybody talks about Portia, and it's just kind of like, if they've been friends since they were this big, she knows Portia. She's not having this all of a sudden epiphany because they're on TV. She knows who she's dealing with. So I don't feel like Shamia is innocent. I'm sorry. She's done things and I've seen her. She is not low. I see you, Shamia. Back in season 8, when Candy had the video release party for the song she did with Demetria. Y'all remember it was a lot going on back then. Phaedra and Todd were going at it because Todd said, you need to pay me my money. And Phaedra was like, okay, you want to bring it on the show and embarrass me? I'm going to embarrass you right back. Remember that? During that party, Phaedra was explaining what was going on between her and Todd. Portia simply asked the question, is this the real reason why you and Candy aren't good? That's all she asked. Don Juan overheard this and overreacted. But instead of giving the energy to Phaedra, he started going after Portia, making personal attacks, saying that's why you ain't got no man, that's why your man left you, that's why this, that's why that, that's why that. That's when Portia was dating that football player. Chased Portia out of the party while hurling insults at Portia. Shamea stood right there while this was happening, did not diffuse the situation. The very next day, runs to Candy's office to make sure she's still in good graces with Candy. Don Juan starts going in on Portia again. She did say, oh, that's my friend. We don't have to say that about her. But to me, you giving that weak ass defense right there, you supposed to be my best friend and you let somebody go in on me twice, but you still want to be friends with these circle of people. You still want it to be very close. Like, I can't blame Candy for what Don Juan said, but my whole thing is, Shamea, if you're going to hang out with Candy and Don Juan and Carmen and whoever else is in this circle, and they have all these things negative to say about Portia, you're making a choice to be friends with people who don't like your friend. And that's fair. You can do what you want to do. Everybody's grown. Everybody can make the decisions that they want to make for themselves. But you are choosing to hang out with Candy, Don Juan, Carmen, whoever else, and you know that they don't care for Portia. For Don Juan to go 0 to 100 on Portia when the person who made the offensive remarks was Phaedra, but you went in on Portia, that means you've been feeling this way about Portia. And that's fine to feel that way, right? But Shamea continues to hang out with them, even though they're speaking this way about Portia. So the very next season, season 9, when Shamea is telling Portia, you shouldn't hang out with Phaedra. And Candy is also saying, you're hanging out with Phaedra, but I've done the most for you. I've been a better friend to you than Phaedra. I think that was unfair. I think that was unfair. Your friends, your staff, your right-hand man chased me out of a party going in on my personal life. And then the one person who was riding with me and that was being my friend and being nice to me, you want me to quit them? But in the same way that Shamea chooses to continue to befriend people who don't care for Portia, I think it's unfair for Shamea to tell Portia she can't be friends with Phaedra because Phaedra offended her. When Phaedra and Portia became close, they're on the show together. They're working together. They cultivated a friendship and they were kicking it with each other. For Shamea to come in season 9 and say, oh, I don't think you should be friends with Phaedra. Phaedra tried to get with my ex-husband. That never sat right with me. Because, first of all, men be lying. Okay, men lie. Shamea, you have told us that your ex-husband was abusive. So, he's not a credible person. A man that would beat his wife is not a credible person. I feel like that was part of the abuse. That's part of the abuse for a man to come and tell you another woman wants him. Why? If she was flirting with him, why he didn't just shut it down? So for you to attach that to Phaedra's name, like, oh yeah, she tried to flirt with my ex-husband, so I don't trust her, no way. And Portia, you shouldn't be friends with her. You're outing this on the show. You were forcing Portia's hand. Like, those little things that Shamea did, girl, you're not low. You're not low, you're not slick, especially after the whole Mr. Chocolate thing. Shamea, you are a sneaky little somebody. You really, really are. So I have never cared when people were like, oh my gosh, Portia's a bad friend to Shamea. She let Phaedra dog her. You dogged Phaedra and Phaedra got you back. Now, should she have done that with Portia sitting there and she's having a discussion with Portia and Sheree? No. Because for me, I find that to be disrespectful. I won't even lie. If I'm cool with you, but I'm not cool with your friend, I'm not going to put you in a situation where you have to defend your friend to me. I'm just not going to say anything about your friend. If you and I are talking, I'm going to talk to you and you can talk to me. I'm not going to mention your friend that I don't like. And I feel like Portia and Shamea are both guilty of this. Shamea, you sit up in front of people who don't like Portia. They badmouth Portia. And then you're like, oh, don't talk about my friend. No, don't disrespect me by talking bad about my friend. If you don't like my friend, you don't have to voice that to me. They both did that shit. Don Juan, Carmen, and all of them was talking bad about Portia in front of Shamia. To me, that's disrespectful because you know that's her friend. And you know that when you do that, you are causing a problem. You're causing a breakdown in a relationship. The same thing with Phaedra. Phaedra spoke bad about Shamia in front of Portia. That was also disrespectful. But my whole thing is, Shamia, you started this game first. You started this game first, and because you weren't really a factor on the show, and I hate to be blunt, but you really weren't a factor on the show, I feel like the fan base kind of glazed over that and didn't really put too much attention to what you did. But everybody had their eyes open and their attention on season 9 when Portia did it to you. And because of that, I refuse to join the bandwagon of Portia's a bad friend to Shamia. Shamia has done some stuff too. It just wasn't focused on what Shamia was doing because Shamia was real cool with Kandi. A lot of y'all overlooked some of the things Shamia did because Kandi liked her. And that's how I feel about that. The same thing goes for Shamia's wedding and Portia not attending. Portia and Shamia, y'all were not in a good place when you were getting married. You surrounded yourself with Kandi and her friends. They were everywhere. They was all up and through that wedding. Why would Portia want to go? Why would Portia feel comfortable going to the wedding? Why? At your bridal shower, Carmen was dragging Portia. Carmen was going in on Portia. That creates an uncomfortable environment. So now if Portia would have leaped over that table and gone for Carmen, then everybody would be like, oh my God, you didn't care about your friend's wedding. You did X, Y, and Z. But some of the people you were inviting to your wedding and wedding activities did not have enough respect for you to keep it cute and leave Portia alone. So if I'm Portia, I ain't buying no ticket to go to Kenya for your wedding where people are going to sit up there and talk rude to me and I have to just suffer and endure it. No, I'm not going nowhere I'm not comfortable. I'm not going nowhere where there's a whole bunch of people coming for me. Because when I defend myself, then I'm going to be the bad guy. So I'll just be the bad guy up front and save myself some time, money, and energy and just not go to your wedding at all. So for Shamia to continue to act like she don't understand what was going on, girl, bye. I'm sorry, but I feel like a lot of people like seeing Shamia the victim. And she knows that. And that's why she's leaning into it. Shamia the victim. Was Portia wrong for talking over Shamia playing her music? Yeah, I didn't like that. I wanted Portia to shut up. I did. I was annoyed with Portia in that moment. I absolutely was. But, girl, for you to sit with Cynthia and bring up the fact that your mom and her mom used to be good friends, but they had a falling out, and ever since then you feel like Portia's mom don't like you. And you wonder why Portia was not thrilled about you joining the show. Like, if I have to explain that, I don't even understand. Like, everybody on this show, everybody in life, have things in their personal life that they don't want to talk about on camera because it can get nasty. So for you to go on there and bring up your mom and Portia's mom having a falling out and saying that that has something to do with why Miss Diane don't really see it for you these days. Or even call her Messy Mia. Yeah, you are Messy Mia. You are Messy Mia. And then she's acting like, I just don't know. I'm having a hard time sleeping. Girl, you got 2 children. You have 2 children. You have a husband. You have a career. You have jobs. You got a lot of things going on and you're losing sleep because you and Portia are not good. You're full of it. You really are. And I'm over Shamia. I don't like this. I don't like this. You're leaning into the victimhood thing and I'm just over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. And I really didn't intend for this video to be a rant because the last video that I did was a rant. But like, the bottom line is Shamia really wanted to be on this show, and the fact that Portia has not exhausted every resource and leverage that she has to bring Shamia onto this show, that's what Shamia mad about. She mad about that. That's what she mad about. Because I don't understand. I don't understand, like, why are we talking about... Because this is my thing right here, right? If Shamia was innocent, right? You're an innocent person just walking through life and your best friend is just your biggest op, your biggest hater. Why is she your best friend? Why is she your friend? I cannot. I can't with them. Both of them are getting on my nerves. Shamia bringing up her mom and Portia's mom fallout is messy as hell. That is messy as all hell because the people are already dragging Portia. They've been dragging Portia. They're going to forever drag Portia. But now you're putting my mom in the line of fire. Now you're getting on here and you're trying to get people to drag her mama. I don't care how you phrase it. Your intention was to get people to start dragging her mom. They're already dragging her. Oh, she's jealous of your life. Oh, she wanted an African man like you had an African man. Shamia, the first person to marry an African man that had money? I guess, child, all I can say is, Shamia, you're not trying to salvage your friendship. You're actually trying to blow it up. And I guess, girl, I hope this works out for you the way you want it to. But you ain't no victim. I see through all the bullshit. I see through it all. She keeps saying, oh, I would never give an audience to people to talk about my friendship with Portia. Girl, that's what you did. That's exactly what you did. And you're gaslighting. That is what you did. And you're flipping it around on Portia because she shouldn't have believed it. All these girls are coming to me telling me stuff about our friendship. Yeah, because all these girls been watching the show. All these girls binge watched the show. The moment they knew that you were going to be on this season, they started taking notes of what they should bring up and when they should bring it up. You could have shut that down at the very beginning. Please don't come to me about my friendship with Portia. I don't come to you about your friendships with your best friends. I don't even know your best friends. They all would have had to shut the hell up. That's literally all it would have taken. Angela, I don't even know who your best friend is. Kelly, I don't know who none of your friends are. Britt, I don't know who none of your friends are. Done. It would have been that easy. Don't come to me about my friendship with Portia because I don't even know your friends. I don't even know none of y'all best friends. Stop coming for our friendship. If you got to cuss Portia out, do that. But those women coming to you to talk about your friendship with Portia, you encourage that. Because if you would have told them to shut the hell up and get up out your face one good time, they would stop. But you lean into being the victim. And they knew that they could keep pushing that button because they know you were going to give them what they were looking for. And boom. You're not innocent. This bowling scene with Portia, Angela, and Cynthia, it was cute. It was a little fun time. I liked it. Do I care anything about Portia's divorce? I really don't care nothing about that. I'm so sorry. I don't care. Portia's marriage with Simon was so fast that I don't even feel like there's nothing juicy there to... Like, people be like, we want to know what really happened. Baby, I don't think there's nothing to see. I don't think there's anything to see. I think Portia... She's always been in love with Dennis. That's who she wanted. I think she got with Simon. I feel like I talked about this before, but whatever. I feel like she reached out to Simon because Portia do want to be in certain circles. She want to be cool with certain people. I think she wanted herself a nice little African man who has some power, who has, you know, he go and hang out with certain people. He have a little clout. You know, she like an important man, okay? She don't want just anybody. She wants a man who has some type of something, a little bit of status, okay? He can get her into certain places. That's the type of man she want. And Simon was going on these business trips to Dubai, hanging out with other African. Wasn't he hanging out with one of the presidents? I can't remember where, but he went to like the inauguration dinner for one of the presidents. That's the type of stuff Portia likes, okay? So Portia was down with all of that. Portia can't tell me she thought her and Simon were going to be together forever. She can't tell me she believed that. She cannot tell me she thought this was going to be her forever partner. And if she really thought that, then girl, I don't know what to tell you. He got with you because you were on the show. And you got that big old round thing behind you, okay? You're not the only, like, I don't even think Simon have a type. Ain't none of them the same. I think Simon just like to have a pretty nice thing on his arm. I was going to say something shady. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to do it. Not on today. Today is, look, I've had such, God has blessed me so much. I don't even want to be that shady. I'm not going to go there. However, I think that, yeah, when it comes to Simon and Portia, girl, I'm sorry. I don't care. I could believe that Pilar has asked about him, because I remember there was a little video that Portia shared how Simon was really catering to Pilar. Like, he was being really nice to the little girl. Like, he was making her breakfast. He was putting her tray together and putting her in front of her little cartoons. I could believe that Pilar is asking about him. Do I care? No, because Pilar has a dad that loves her, that's hands-on, that really cherishes her. Dennis loves that little girl, and that little girl loves Dennis. I can believe that Pilar is asking about Simon, because he lived in the house with her. He catered to her. He took her places. Like, that video that Portia posted of him making Pilar's breakfast, and he had set up her tray in front of her cartoons. Yeah, I can believe that the little girl's gonna ask for somebody who's nice like that, who goes out of their way to do something like that for them. I could believe she's asking about him. Do I feel bad? I don't really feel bad, because Portia, you saw how he did Fallon's kids. When he was done with Fallon, he was done with her kids too. So for you to surprise this man with a divorce and you think he was gonna still come around to see about your child, girl, you're asking for a little bit too much. He can't even stand you. He can't stand you. He's constantly going in on you and your mama on, well, not lately, but when he was free, he was going in on you and your mama. You think he's going to stop by to the house to play with Pilar? No. So them little tears right there, girl, you're going to have to suck that up. You're going to have to suck that up. You're going to have to distract Pilar. She's going to have to spend more time with Dennis and her uncles and the cousins. She'll forget about him eventually. She'll realize, like, okay, he's not a part of our life. I don't know what else to tell you. Okay, so the same way that I don't care about Portia's divorce, I do not care about Drew's divorce. Because there's a part of me that's just not sure that any of this is real. It's a part of me that's just not sure if any of this is real. Wasn't it just last season? Wasn't it just last season that Drew and her mama was talking about Ralph needs to go ahead and adopt her other son? And now it's like, oh, he's a bad person. He's this, he's that, he's this, and he's... You wanted him to adopt your grandson, and now he all these things? I was going to say something, but I think I'm going to keep my mouth closed. Anyways, no, I'm not. I'm going to keep it cute. Sometimes these moms, no shade to Drew's mom, no shade to her mom, but sometimes y'all want so badly for your daughter's life to look a certain way that you expose them to effed up situations. You wanted your daughter to be the nice church lady that's married, all her kids got the same last name. You wanted her life to look a certain way, but in reality, behind closed doors, it was something different. You are to blame as well. I'm so sorry. But the mama got some blame in that too. You were really just saying last season that he needed to adopt your eldest grandson from Drew. He needed to adopt this son. Now he's nasty. Now he's a horrible person. You knew that when you wanted him to adopt your grandson though. Ralph been acting up since day one. Ralph been acting a fool. But you still wanted him to adopt your grandson. If it's affecting the children negatively, I'm sorry for that, because I will say this. This I will say. Those kids are young, but they're old enough to know that mommy and daddy are fighting. And for that, I feel bad. My parents split up when I was 2. And God really blessed me with good parents. I'm going to say that because, baby, my mom and dad both know how to be petty. They both know how to be a-holes if they wanted to be, but they weren't like that with each other. Like, nobody could play with my mama. My daddy didn't play that. Nobody could play with that woman, not even me. Okay, he wouldn't even let me play with her, and she my mama, okay? My dad, you can't talk bad about my mom in front of him. At least if he was putting on a facade, he definitely played well for my benefit. He never let me see him say nothing negative about my mom. Him and my mom, a united front every time. Okay, my mom, if you could say a little something about my dad, but don't take it too far, because then she gonna get upset as well. Okay, They didn't play that. They were probably the best co-parents to ever do it. Co-parenting your children, like, it's your children need to see you get along. They need to see you guys move effectively and healthy. You know what I mean? Like, I feel bad if the kids are, like, if it's taking a toll on the kids, I feel bad for them. I really do. I will never forget my aunt when she was getting a divorce. My cousin was about 10. It caused him so much pain to see his parents split up. I could not relate. I couldn't relate because my mom and dad just, the way that they handled their breakup, their separation, was just very classy, very mature. Like, they handled it like adults. So when I see children hurt by their parents' divorce, I really do feel bad. Because it always takes me back to seeing my cousin in so much pain. Like, he was 10. He was 10, I was 13. And his parents, like, he was really affected by that. Like, it made me almost tear up because I remember, like, seeing him in a lot of pain because his parents couldn't get it right. So for me, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. Like, whatever pettiness y'all got going on, y'all need to do something about that. Y'all do. That's the only thing I have for Drew and Ralph. Y'all need to fix it for the kids because you're damaging y'all children. I can't imagine that's what y'all want. And the craziest part about it seems like they're fighting over money. Like, it seems like it's coming down to a fight over the finances. Ralph doesn't want to pay up whatever he's supposed to pay. He wants Drew to pay. I don't like either one of them enough. You know what? I don't like either one of them enough to give my energy in this way. If they don't get it together soon, I'm just going to start fast forwarding their parts. Because, child, I can't. I just can't. And like I said, I don't, they lie. Both of them lie. So I don't even know what's real when it comes to them. I can't get invested in y'all story. Sorry. So this last scene with Shamia and Portia, like I've said earlier, I'm tired already. I'm tired already with Shamia's antics. Shamia's leaning into... She's leaning into this victim role, and I just cannot. She already knows the temperature of the audience, and that's what she's playing off of. Shamia, girl, you're not slick and you're not low. And some of us see you, okay? There's some people that want to believe you because they just don't like Portia, and that's fine. But wrap this on up, okay? Wrap this on up. If Portia is this terrible of a friend, you don't have to be her friend. You don't have to be her friend. You have 2 children that you have to worry about. You saying that you're losing sleep because the state of your friendship is not in a good place with Portia. I truly hope that Shamia, that this is really how you feel and you're okay with losing your friend over some BS. Because, like I've said, and I'm going to say it again, none of these women have their best friends on the show. We haven't met one friend of Angela's. We haven't met one friend of Kelly's. We have not met one friend of, what's the other girl name? Britt. As many years as Cynthia has been a part of this franchise, I don't think we've ever met any of Cynthia's real friends. All her friendships are the girls that are on this show. We ain't never met none of her real friends that she talked to outside of the show. There's a reason for that. Candy then brought all her friends on the show, but ain't none of them. You mean to tell me of all Candy's friends that she has brought on the show, none of them were interested in getting a peach? None of them wanted a peach? So she brought you? Shamia is blowing up her friendship with Portia because she knows that everyone is going to side with her. And if that's what you want to do, girl, go ahead. I don't think I care. I don't think I care. I hope that that's what she really wants because that's what's happening. When she said all the girls are coming to me about my friendship with Portia, you letting them. Because we ain't met none of these heifers real friends in real life. We have not. We ain't met none of Britt's friends, none of Angela's friends, Kelly's friends. Kelly shows her family and that's really it. Shamia, you're the only one. You're in a unique situation. And you can clearly see during the sit down, there's so many things that Portia just doesn't want to come up. That's why she's annoyed. That's why she's uncomfortable. Why are you bringing up things that we talked about already that we weren't going to bring up? That's what Portia is annoyed by. Oh, I'm expressing myself, girl. You're expressing yourself from things that happened 6 years prior. I would have been like, girl, the same way that Portia was like, that's how I feel too. I'm so sorry. And I'm not trying to defend Portia because Portia is, girl, we all know how Portia moves. But Shamia, you're not getting this new epiphany that Portia ain't no good. You've known this. And you were okay with this. And I'm sure by now everyone has seen the clip of Angela's after... What was Angela's thing? The Housewives after show. That's what it's called. The Housewives after show, Angela says that Shamia is not somebody who can be ran over. Shamia is not someone who could be manipulated or treated badly. Shamia is playing the long game. She has allowed Portia's inconsistencies and lack of support because Portia's on this show and she want to be on this show too. People were saying that's not true because Kandi vouched for Shamia to be on this show. Kandi may have vouched for Shamia to be on this show, but who did Shamia come on the show with? She came on the show as Portia's friend. The first time I remember seeing Shamia was season 6 when Portia was getting a divorce. And she shot this scene with all her friends in the club. And remember the white guys was over there like, hey, we can teach you how to golf. You want to come play golf with us? And they were being all cute and flirty with the guys. That's the first time I think I remember seeing Shamia. And that wasn't about Kandi. That wasn't about Kandi. I think that, yeah, Kandi has vouched for you and said, oh, yeah, bring Shamia on the show. She's really good friends with Portia. That's her best friend. That's going to be a great dynamic to follow. But the selling point is she's Portia's friend. She hangs out with Portia. This is Portia's friend in real life. This is someone who knows Portia in real life. Bring her on the show. When she was filming all those scenes at Portia's house, Kandi wasn't there. Remember when Cynthia kicked Portia in the stomach? And that's not funny. But remember when Cynthia kicked Portia in the stomach? Shamia was at Portia's house. Like, Kandi didn't have nothing to do with that. Yeah, Kandi might have said, yeah, I think you guys should bring Shamia on the show. But she's on the show because she's friends with Portia. She was on all those seasons because she was friends with Portia. That is the dynamic that Bravo wanted to capture. Kandi got 101 friends. Out of all her friends, ain't none of them ever had a friend or a role. Ain't none of them ever been a peach holder. You mean to tell me the only person that Kandi knows that qualifies to be a housewife is Shamia? No. You mean to tell me that out of all the friends that Kandi has, all the popular girls in Atlanta, none of them want to be on the show? No. The selling point was Shamia and Portia are friends in real life. And they bring good energy when they're together and they're having a kiki. And they've been having kikis this whole time they've been on the show. So I'm still not even understanding what Shamia is upset about. I'm really not getting it. That one hiccup was Portia was late. Even the whole thing with Portia being late to Shamia's birthday party to me was like, don't they all have call times when they're supposed to arrive to filming? Yeah, Shamia, you ain't slick. The producers ain't slick. The rest of the girls, y'all not slick. I see y'all. I see y'all. And Portia speaking over the music. Now that was shady. That I can't defend. I don't know why Portia did that. That annoyed me. That did. But still. Y'all have been having a good time. Y'all been kikiing. Y'all been partying. Y'all been dancing. Y'all been laughing. Y'all been having a good old time. What has Portia done to you so much that causes all of this? Without you reaching back to 6 years ago, what exactly has Portia done to you present day that has you so bent up out of shape? Child, I guess if y'all want to dead the friendship. Because I'm tired of this. Like, this is... I guess. Hopefully the next episode is less Shamia and Portia drama because I'm already over it. I need something else to talk about. Like I do. Because I need something else to talk about. I'm over this. Like, before I saw this episode, I was starting to feel like Portia and Shamia's fighting was fake. Like, it was for camera value. Like, I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm over it. That's all I can say. But yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching.